Hey there, everybody. Today I'm going to share with you the top 15 things that you need to know about if you're moving here to the great state of Tennessee. So, if you're looking to move here this year and you want to know more about it, then stay tuned and watch all these 15 things. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Nashville, Tennessee channel. If you want to learn everything about what it's like living here, eating here, sleeping here, even playing here in the Nashville area or in Tennessee in general, then please click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. Lately, I've been getting a ton of people that are calling me, texting me, emailing me, asking me, hey, Greg, what's it like to live in Tennessee? Well, I absolutely love it. So if that's you, please give me a call, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. So, number one thing that you need to know about when making that move here to Tennessee is the home prices. And home prices are going to vary depending upon which part of Tennessee you come from or wanting to move to. The average price is going to be in the $200,000 to $800,000 mark. And of course, different cities are going to have different prices all over the state. So whether you're in the west side in the Memphis area or in the Nashville area or in the Knoxville area or the Chattanooga area, they're all going to have different pricing, and that's definitely something that we can help you with. If you aren't moving to the Nashville area where we specialize in, we can definitely put you in touch with a great partner agent in all those other areas since we refer people all the time. So that's what you need to know about housing costs. Rent costs are going to be all over the board, but anywhere from about $700 or $800 a month, and rent all the way over $4,000 or $5,000. Even there's some $10,000 $20,000 a month places to rent. So it just depends on where you're looking to move once again for the rental prices. The number two thing that you need to be aware of when moving to Tennessee, and that's our traffic. So that's going to be the same whether you're in any of the parts of the state, but traffic is growing, getting worse every year as more and more people make that move to the Tennessee area. They aren't expanding our roads at a fast enough pace, nor do we have any really good public transportation. We're going to talk about that as well. But just know that you're going to run into traffic here. We don't have the same level of traffic as certain parts of the country do, like Atlanta or Dallas or Los Angeles. However, we're projected to have even worse traffic over the next 10 years. So that just should be something that you're aware of. And that's one of the things that when we talk to you about, we kind of find out where you're going to be working and the things that you want to do so that we can maybe help put you in the right area where traffic isn't going to get as bad as it could in other areas. And number three thing you need to know about when living in Tennessee, and that's the weather. And we really didn't have an idea when we made the move to the Nashville area what the weather was going to be like. We knew it would be humid. We didn't know it was going to be as hot and humid as it was. We didn't know winter was going to be sometimes filled with snow, sometimes ice storms, sometimes tornadoes, just lots of different weather patterns you have in the Nashville area. It can be 30 degrees one day and snowing, the next day 75 degrees. You just have no idea. And we have all these different things that happen with the weather where it, is really nice for like a whole week. And then the next week it's pretty awful. So just know that that's something. Fall time of year is the best time of year in the whole state of Tennessee. The leaves change colors, the bugs stop coming, the weather, the temperature has dropped, it's not humid. Just a great time of year. Spring is the same sort of way because over the winter time, all the leaves fall off the trees, so everything looks dead. It looks gloomy more, a lot of overcast days, and then in the spring it starts to have this more sunshine, and the trees and flowers bloom, your grass grows again. All of that happens. So just know weather is pretty unpredictable. We have some really cool thunderstorms that you get to see, lightning storms, all of that. That makes, weather something cool. The number four thing that you need to be aware of is sports in the state of Tennessee. And sports are huge here in the Tennessee area. So just some of the teams that we have the Tennessee Titans. They're building a brand new stadium in downtown Nashville. So once that's complete, it's going to be awesome. They have the Nashville Predators that you can watch for an NHL hockey game. That would be my jam. Absolutely love ice hockey. You have the Memphis Grizzlies. So if you're an NBA basketball fan, you can go watch the Memphis Grizzlies play. Of course, that's in Memphis. So depending upon where you are in the state of Tennessee, you're going to run into that. Then you have different college sports teams that are going to be scattered all over the state. And my dog just came. Where are you, bud? Come here. This is my dog, Archie. I guess he came to visit while I'm recording. So you have some of the biggest football teams in the state are going to be University of Alabama fans. There are a massive amount of them. Auburn fans, and then Tennessee, Knoxville fans. So mainly those are our 3 football teams. But Vanderbilt has a good baseball team to follow, and some of the other sports teams are pretty good too. The number 5 thing that you need to know about is our high sales tax. And sales tax is 9.25%. And that's pretty high. I don't know if your place is higher, but you can comment below what you're paying for sales tax. However, one cool thing and one big perk about living in the state of Tennessee is there is no state income tax. So just know that kind of... Oh! He just threw up on me. All right, sorry about that. He just threw up on me. Never had that happen before while I'm filming. But anyhow, since there's no state income tax, that was a huge bonus to us making that move here to Tennessee. So I think it just balances out the sales tax. And then certain states that have a higher sales tax or similar sales tax and then don't have state income tax, then you're just paying a lot more money. Property taxes are really low in the state of Tennessee, so they definitely aren't going to get you as far as that goes. So that's number 5. The number 6 thing on the list, this is my wife's least favorite thing about living in Tennessee, and that's all the bugs. So you have silverfish, fire brats, earwigs, springtails, mosquitoes, cicadas. They had this thing where they kept telling us that the cicadas were going to come back, and after many years of, them being underground or whatever they do to, multiply or hibernate or whatever, they haven't come back. Every year we keep saying that they're going to come back, and they really haven't. I think one of the years when we were here, they were, all over the place and really loud, but nothing like what supposedly is supposed to happen where millions and millions of them come out. But just know you have lots of different bugs that you have in the state of Tennessee. You can rectify this mostly with just spraying your yard and having your house sprayed for bugs. And then they have different sprays they use for your pets, so your pets aren't affected by the sprays, or you aren't as well. But that'll cut down on them immensely. Mosquitoes, lots of different things you can help with mosquitoes. Spraying definitely helps. You can use thermocells, you can use citrus candles, a bunch of different things. If you got a solution for mosquitoes, post it in the comments below. Would love to hear about it. The number 7 thing that you need to know about is country music. And if you love country music and you really, really like it, especially like my wife, then it's huge here in the state of Tennessee. Nashville has the Country Music Hall of Fame. They have the Gaylord Opry. They have tons of different bars that you can go to throughout the state, but especially in the Nashville area, there's a lot of honky tonk, a lot of country music bars. You also have other music is played here as well. One of my friends took me to the Gaylord Opry, if you didn't know, and I got to see Carrie Underwood and Trace Atkins play, and then a bunch of other ones I didn't really care for, but those two were amazing to hear live. It's just awesome. Lots of different country music, lots of folklore, lots of stuff to do with it is here in the state of Tennessee. The number 8 thing on my list is crime. So depending upon which area you choose to live in Tennessee and which cities you choose to live in, you're going to have different crime rates. And so you really need to be aware of that prior to making the move and looking that up. There's lots of good websites. You can even ask me if there's certain places you're living in, and I can maybe help you with that a little bit, as I've lived in a couple different cities and I'm pretty familiar with helping people move in most parts of the state and referring them out and stuff like that. So we can definitely help you with the crime if that's important to you so that you pick a good area. The number 9 thing that you need to be aware of is homelessness. And homelessness, I think, is pretty much in most areas in the country. Maybe they're not as prevalent in certain areas where it's super cold, like maybe North Dakota doesn't have a ton of them. But in the Nashville area, for instance, they have a big tent city area that you'd never know about unless you happen to drive by it, but I'm sure that there's other areas and of it in Memphis and in Knoxville. Tennessee did pass, and they were the first state to pass this law that makes it a felony to pitch a tent outside of a designated campsite. So we felt this might stop people from sleeping at the streets and bus stops and city parks. So we'll have to see how that takes effect over the next few years when they can revisit that. The number 10 thing that you need to be aware of is tourists. And tourism is huge in the state of Tennessee. Millions and millions of dollars a year. Millions of people come and visit. They all want to see all our different sports and the cool things about the whole state in general. Out in Memphis, you got Elvis's thing to go and visit. You got the pyramid thing you can see. Lots of cool things you can do out west. And then the Nashville area, you have your sports teams and the other things that go along with visiting Nashville. It being the bridesmaid capital of the world, so you have all of that going for it. Then out east, you have the Smoky Mountains. Lots and lots of people will rent cabins there. You have Dollywood out there. And then Chattanooga is super cool in itself. We went there to visit when my daughter was looking at going to the university there. She decided against it, but it's super cool, super nice. The river that you drive when you're driving into and you see the river, it's just incredible, the views and that sort of thing. So just depending upon where you want to be, but that's that. The number 11 thing you need to be aware of, and that's the natural disasters that can occur in Tennessee. So we have flooding, and we had the Great Flood of 2010 where they redid all the FEMA flood zone maps. So certain cities and certain areas weren't in the flood zone that are now in the flood zone. So they haven't had a problem, as far as I know, with since they redid the FEMA flood zones, as places flooding that maybe you weren't aware that would flood. But we have floods, and we get lots of rain in Tennessee. We will get, and by lots of rain, I mean you will get 6, 7, 8, 10 inches of rain in certain cities in one day. So it rains a lot as far as that goes. We don't get a lot of the, where it barely rains, kind of like Seattle. We get more inches of rain. We also have wildfires, which I haven't really noticed too much, but I know they happen. We get tropical storms that'll come up when the hurricanes hit Florida and Texas. They can come to us. Typically, they aren't really bad, but they will get windy, and we will get rain from that. Landslides. We can get earthquakes. Haven't had any major earthquakes since I've been in Tennessee. We also get tornadoes, and tornadoes, I guess, are the biggest natural disaster that people ask me about. And depending upon where you choose to live in the state, they happen more often than other areas in the state, and there are ways you can protect yourself from a tornado. So you definitely want to make sure that if a tornado is a concern, that you get one of the few different ways that you can protect yourself from them. Number 12 on the list is allergies, and they can be really bad. I recommend that you get tested and find out what allergies are for you and how they best recommend that you treat yourself for them. Mine are usually bad about twice a year, and usually 1 to 2 days. I've had one of the years where it's bad for like 2 or 3 weeks, but for the most part, it's a couple days, maybe a day where I need to take a sick day, I guess, and just relax at home. But you can do different prescriptions, and different over-the-counter medicines will help with allergies. And once again, I recommend the doctor helping you out with that, or the allergy center. For me, what seems to work good is just a Claritin and some Flonase. And sometimes I just do the Flonase for when I know that the allergy season's hitting. I'll start it like a week or two before, sometime in late September. I'll just run it through and do Flonase for the next month or month and a half or so. It just depends. But you want to talk to your doctor definitely about that. The number 13 thing you need to be aware of if you're moving to the great state of Tennessee, that's you're not going to have good public transportation. You're going to have some buses in certain cities. There is a train in the Nashville area, but really there's no sort of good public transportation in the state. And for whatever reason, we haven't decided to put money towards that. And maybe they will in the future. We'll just have to see. But just know you're going to need a car to get around, or you're going to be using Uber or Lyft or something like that to get around for the most part. The number 14 thing on my list here is the religious diversity here in this Tennessee. There's a church for everyone, or if you're not in a church, that's okay too. Christianity is the dominant religion in the area. Just know that if you're a member of a different church, they most likely have that church here in the state of Tennessee. There are thousands of churches here. Some are even really, really cool to look at. They've been here for a really, really long time. I looked up to see what the oldest church was, and that's in Nashville, and that was started in like 1814, the first Presbyterian church. That leads us to number 15 on my list, and that's the lack of sidewalks, siding on the roads, and fenced yards. And this has changed a lot over the last 10 years. When we first moved to Tennessee, we had no fence in the backyard, and most of our neighbors didn't have a fence. So when you look out, it was like this huge open field, kind of like a football field or bigger. And you could just, our kids would run across all the different backyards and play and kick the soccer ball, play football, all of that. And then slowly over time, people have been adding fences, and now even some of the builders will just include a fence in your purchase of your home, or more and more people have moved here and they want a fence for their dog or for their kids or whatever. And so we have a really good fence place that we recommend, at least that you get a quote from them. Even if you don't use them, they aren't the cheapest, but they do build the best quality fence. And if you don't go to the right fence company, you're going to end up replacing your fence in 5 years or so when the wood decays or wasn't built right, and then it falls over. A lot of cool different things you need to know about fences. So if these 15 things make you still want to make the move to Tennessee, please reach out to me. Love to hear from you. Me and my team would love to help you. Even if you aren't moving to the Nashville area, we can definitely help you, refer you to another agent all over the state. We have partner agents that work with us in pretty much every city in the entire state. So until next time, I'm out.